What's up, people, and welcome to the book club with one mother, three sisters, and a whole lot of hot takes. This is the family plot. I'm Angel, the host and the heart of the crew, joined by my baby sister, Cam, our resident conspiracy theorist. Say hey, Cam.
Hey,
And our mama, Lisa, the matriarch and occasional voice of reason. Say hey, mom.
hi.
We are joined by Glenna, my sister in law, with the insightful takes. Say hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
All right, so here's how we get down. Each month, we discuss a book of our choosing, and every week, I'll share a brief summary of the chapters we've read. Then, we each pick a discussion question to answer. We'll also share our first impressions, predictions, and whatever else comes up along the way. So, if any of that interests you, pull up a chair, pour some tea, and get cozy as we get into week 3 of this month's book, right here on the Family Plot, where every chapter digs deep. So, Mother, if you would do the honors of reading the description on the back of the book before we get into this week's summary, go for it. Come on off mute, Mother. Come on off the mute.
That would help a whole lot, wouldn't
It would.
it? Okay. I've always been drawn to magic. I had no idea it would mess up my life like this. Anna knows what she wants. As the only human living among the originals of Grimm Academy, life has its challenges, but with her dark past, Anna is no stranger to challenges. When she finally gets the job she's always wanted and enters the restricted section of the Grimm Academy library, she is selected by a book. The only problem is no human has ever been selected by a book in the lexicarium. As a newly discovered original, Anna is forced to go from a librarian to being a student at Grimm Academy. And if that weren't enough, she is forced to study with an annoying new shifter professor, Jericho Bain. But there are strange things happening. Dark forces at work that are looking to sow destruction, and a mystery that is begging to be solved. Is Anna a human, an original, or something else entirely? With the fate of all humankind hanging in the balance, Anna is forced to confront her own fears and become more than she ever thought she could be.
Yes, thank you, Mother, for that
You're welcome.
wonderful synopsis located on the back of the novel. Let's get into this week's summary, chapters 21 through 30. All right. Anna learns that she passed the exam despite destroying the obstacle course. Raven notes Anna's shifter marks are rapidly developing. Alaric reveals a book linking Anna's tattoos to an ancient symbol. Anna is drawn into a complicated, increasingly charged dynamic with Bane, including a run in the Lichen Forest and a moment where Anna appears to unintentionally access his emotions. Anna is confronted by the Order, who reveal the threat of Baldur, an ancient vampire awakening, and identify Anna as an Aurora, born of a shifter fae and vampire bloodlines. Anna's spirit animal refuses to help her until she confronts unresolved guilt from a past incarnation, leaving Anna emotionally destabilized. Despite distrust, Anna agrees to work with the Order to stop Baldur while continuing her studies and regaining partial library access. Bane openly challenges the Order's narrative. Anna and Bane break into the restricted section to retrieve the Lexicarnum book, triggering suspicion and tighter surveillance. In Norway, Anna confirms the murders are caused by divine, not nature magic, validating the Order's fears and proving Baldur is truly awakening. In England, Anna is psychically provoked by Baldur, unleashing destructive power that results in multiple deaths, leaving her racked with guilt. Anna deciphers the symbols as a ritual meant to block Baldur's power, requiring representation of all three of her bloodlines. Tensions rise between Anna and Bane, marked by control, desire, avoidance, and emotional manipulation, culminating in a sexual encounter that leaves Anna feeling hollow and conflicted. Anna removes Bane's monitoring bracelet and attempts to access her magic alone. Her wolf severs their bond, accusing Anna of arrogance and rejection of past wisdom. Despite the loss, Anna resolves to rely on her intuition and power alone, heading into the Academy's networking mixer, intent on proving that she doesn't need Bane or anyone to define her strength. Ladies, ladies. I mean, it's just so much. Do y'all even want to do first impressions? Okay, that's
All
how I
I'm gonna
feel.
say, can I
Come on with it, mother.
pick me?
Mhm.
Okay. All I'm gonna say is, I told y'all she was more than one thing. That's all I gotta say.
You know what, mother? You did. You called it.
Because she had the markings of the Fae and the Shifter. But like you said, what is she? And I think Glenna mentioned something about, we did. I think we all agreed at some point that there was something else going on with her where she would be connected with more than one lifestyle, more than one, as they call them, bloodlines. Because I call her, something different, and Cammy told me that ain't it. But anyway, I like I said, I
I
knew
think
she
we
was
called
something
the girl
else.
divergent.
Yeah, I say divergent. Cammy says she is not divergent, but I
It's
still
not a
believe.
thing.
I see. I tell you, she always said it. But anyway, she was more than one thing. She was multiple things. In this case, she's more than two. So what we predicted on that, we were accurate. She was more than one thing. I was thinking Fae and Shift, but it's Fae, human, Shift, and vampire, clearly. So she all the things. So technically she is divergent. But
Overachiever.
Yeah,
she,
classic over.
she's definitely an overachiever. But then she didn't know she was an overachiever till, they woke her up. So uh
And so in that same vein, my only first impression is that I knew it was gonna be some great big threat here. I just didn't think it was gonna be some, super ancient vampire waking up with four different pieces of his body just scattered all over there. Like I did not see that coming.
is
I
that
also
not? Go
I
ahead.
also didn't see the order being a thing. I knew Lorcan and Sarah were of some influence being in leadership at the academy, but I thought that was it. I didn't think they were part of some huge order trying to fight this ancient vampire. So interesting that y'all need this girl help now. Now that y'all been counting her out for being a human all this time.
But it's given very much Voldemort.
Yeah,
He who
that's
shall not be named. They got all these Horcruxes all over the place. And
yeah,
so when they said he was in four parts, I was like, all right, okay, Voldemort number two. But that's where I was with that.
yeah. All right, ladies. So that said, let's get into these discussion questions. Who want to go first? Cam, we have chosen or controlled, power and accountability, the animal's silence, and desire versus agency. What would it be?
Chosen or controlled.
Chosen or controlled. The order claims Anna is essential to saving the world, but closely monitors and restricts her. At what point does guidance become exploitation? And has that line already been crossed? You're on mute.
Um, hmm. You know, at what point does guidance become exploitation? I don't think it's really a point because I really feel like they're already there. I do feel like the line has been crossed, and I don't particularly care for the way they went about it. Now, I would like to preface my response with I just read all of this today because the last 2 weeks I've been sick. So I did week 2 reading last night and I did this reading today. And
Welcome you back.
uh,
Thankful. Welcome.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Um,
Hey,
baffled was not the correct word for what I read. And I was pissed off. I've never, ever been on the side of an antagonist in my life, but me and Jericho Bang was like this today. Because I'm like, girl, you just don't be listening. Because the man then told you it sounds suspect. You also said it sounds suspect, which is why you was trying to leave campus for a month, aside from all your feelings and relations with a certain somebody over here on the side. But you yourself also had to take a month to think about whether or not you really wanted to do it. And then got to an hour away from the meeting and still didn't know if this is what we need to be doing. But then the people that's supposed to be leading you in this so-called venture, one of them you can't stand. One of them turned her back on you in the blink of an eye at the very beginning and then just so happened to come back. The only person that's actually on your side is the man you've hated since page, what, 10? That now you just so happen to be linking chains with. Like, so where in all of that did we hear, yeah, let's go ahead and let these people lead me into no man's land? Because I ain't got no animal. I'm just now finding out for the first time that I got 3 different bloodlines, and they only suspect this because of a freak accident that I didn't know was about to happen. There is no definitive proof anywhere other than the fact that I blew up the gym.
Never mind that the Lexicarnum chose her. We just gonna throw that to the side.
At this point, I don't care about this book. I don't care about this book because this book is only coming up in times of, well, I don't know what else to do, so let me refer to this book that don't nobody want me to have access to. Baby, there's a reason they don't want you to have access. They want you to kill yourself trying to get this done. Because it shouldn't be this hard if they really want you to succeed with everything that you say you got going on, everything that you ain't saying that you got going on. There is no reason that they shouldn't be giving you the access you need to figure out what's going on with your life if they want you to succeed. But then, however, if they want you to die, walk with me here, walk with me. If they want you to die, wouldn't it make a whole lot of sense that they don't give you access to what you need? They just exploiting your talents. Where's the guidance? Because you're not guiding me towards nothing but the good Lord.
The more that she tries, the more they want her to die.
It's for real giving it's giving slavery, to be honest, if you really want to think about it. Because the good people was doing all the work for the reward that never came. And they just was dropping like flies along the way. That's very much what this is giving. And it really was throwing me when, what's his name, Lorcan, the professor we don't like, when we show up to this meeting and she got Raven and Alaric, and he's like, well, you don't get to just invite whoever you want. The hell I can't. You ain't telling me what else I'm doing up in here. So why can't I bring some help? What's going on there? They was really pissing me off because what you're not finna do is sit here and follow me around like I'm a little chicklet who didn't lost their mama, but you're not gonna give me the tools that I need to be successful. Outside of these little lessons, that's only halfway lessons because we know what the rest of it is.
Bow.
So make it make sense. I'm not getting a whole lot of guidance.
Wow.
More than I'm getting a whole lot of, let me just use you for what I need you for, and if you die along the way, okay. And I yield.
Woof. You said a mouthful, girl. You said basically what all of us was thinking. Clearly, because if audience, if you could see the faces on the other 3 screens in this call, my God, today, nothing like being on one accord. All right.
Look, as long as you was walking with me and we was all walking down the same street at the same time on the same side.
Because how can 2 walk together lest they agree? Huh?
And amen again.
Mother, would you like to go next?
Sure.
Go for it.
Let's go for I'm a little nervous on all of them. Uh mm.
Power and accountability, or the animal silence.
Let me go with the animal being quiet.
All right. Anna's wolf cuts her off after accusing her of arrogance and denial. Is this abandonment, tough love, or a consequence of Anna's repeated choices?
Well, I think it could be a little bit. Well, I know it definitely is a consequence of her choices. Um, should it be considered abandonment or tough love? It could be a little bit of both. I think for me, initially, uh, when she first started to cut her off, it was because, like you said, she was she's arrogant. You know, Anna like to do her thing, her way, how she want to do it, when she want to do it, and that's not always necessarily the best thing. Um, because number one, you don't know nothing. you knew. I'm your wolf. I'm here to help you connect, and you're not paying attention. Okay. But then, yeah, Cam, I see your hand. Give me a second. But then, yeah, outside of that initial encounter, because I think part of the wolf's thing, and if she anything like humans, older, because that wolf clearly is older, because she old. She like, I ain't got time for the games. I ain't got time for you to question me like I'm a little kid. Do you know who you are? If not, okay, you playing around. I ain't gonna deal with that. So then when she does open up and it's like, hey, you in the wrong place. You need to come away from here. This is not good for you. And she was like, oh, now you want to talk to me? Come on now. I'm I'm trying to be open, trying to be here, trying to support, and you still not listening. So after these repeated choices, I think at that moment she just that wolf was like, okay. And so it stay completely abandoned. I can't see that. I think as it becomes closer to her dealing with this vampire, she's probably going to become more prominent because in the end, she's going to be needed. I don't know if the actual animal will be needed, but the powers, and I think that's where my confusion comes in. But I believe the powers will still be needed from all 3 bloodlines. So she may be abandoning her right now as a term of her dealing with her arrogance, but she showing up when she saw danger said something to me, and that yeah, she disappeared out of tough love, but she still showed up. And so with that, I will, yeah, because I really do think it was because of her choice, Anna's choices. Cam had a hand up, and then after Cam, Glenna.
I'm sorry. Her wolf is an ass. She's a biatch. Okay.
It's Glenna's immediate amen. Hey,
Response. Glenna is in agreement with you.
Listen, because there's so many things, right? So we know she's old. We know she's old. But then the question then becomes, is it abandonment on Wolf's part or is it abandonment on Anna's part? Because Wolf is only feeling the way that she's feeling because of Anna's choosing not to remember them in a past life. But up until a couple months ago, Anna thought she was human. She don't know nothing about these hidden powers wherever they at. So she can't choose to remember if up until a couple months ago there wasn't anything for her to remember. Tough love, yeah, but how long are we gonna ride this train? Because you only chiming in when you feel like it, not when she needs you, not when she need help. You want to chime in when you think something is bad for you.
But when she did first chime in, when they all went to the shifting room or the room where they transported, she got there, she was like, "Hey, you shouldn't be here." So that was at a time she shifted. Now I will agree with you on she acting a snapple snapple. I ain't gonna say what you said, but yeah, she acting a snapple snapple. But then too, I think part of that is, like you said, Anna didn't remember. But I think the way in which Anna approached it, that could have been hey, I don't know who I am. I thought I was this, and now I'm finding powers. Who am I? So instead of
But
her,
they've had that though. That's the problem that I'm
that was the
having.
initial, and that's when she
That
first started talking
happened
to her.
when she did this ritual and saw her for the first time. Wolf said something about you choosing not to remember. I've been with you in all these past lives, this, and the third. And Anna was like, what are you talking about?
Oh, I missed
I
that part.
don't know what you're talking about. And all she
And she
did
thought she was
was
playing a
back
game.
away. She thought she was playing
She
it.
thought she
Instead
was
of having
playing.
that
Yeah,
conversation,
I missed
she's
that. I
backed
missed that
away.
interaction.
Every single time Anna has tried to come to her to ask questions, get a better understanding, figure something out, Wolf is like, okay, figure it out. Or
Yeah.
there's
Now
no
that part,
response
that's why I
at
said
all.
she definitely
That's
has her snapple
that's
snapple
an
moments.
ass move to me, because now when Anna is at her wit's end trying to figure out how to be the Aurora and she really needs your help and she snaps because you just chiming in here and there, and he's like, well, you don't want to remember me, you gonna be without me for good. I'm upset, so you decide, oh, I'm just gonna leave you for good this time. What type of bullshit is that?
Well, see, and that's where I'm of the very mindset that I don't think she really needs to shift, or she will need, because of the bloodline, because apparently she has all of these bloodlines in her. Okay, she's fast, she can see, and she has the potential to shift, because that's what shifters do. They change into their animal. I don't think she actually needs to change. She probably will in terms of the battle. But I don't know. I guess
But
I'm on the
I'm not
fence on
talking
this one.
about a
Cause yes,
need to
I agree that
change. I'm
she
just
is.
talking about her being there in general.
Oh well,
She
yeah.
just
Well, we
she
all
just
agree that
shows up
she's.
when she wants to. So that's why I say, is it abandonment on Wolf's part or is it abandonment on Anna's part? Because to Wolf, Anna has abandoned her and everything
Her
she stands
thinking,
for.
but
But
that goes
for
back to being
Anna,
old. I think when you think about it, old folks mindset, their mind construct changes when they get old, and they was like, well, you was the, and it totally flips. Come on now, do you not have an immediately elderly relative that has happened with?
we not we not
So yeah.
we not
So what actually going on will have a whole different table turn when it comes to the elderly's perspective. And that may be the case why she's feeling like she's feeling. But
But
again, like
the same way we hold said elderly relative responsible and accountable by having conversations. If
but Anna
Wolf is
can't
gonna be
do
sitting
that.
there in the back of Anna's head when Anna is asking questions, that would be the perfect opportunity to have that conversation.
Yeah, but Anna can't really have it because she doesn't remember. She doesn't recall. Like we said, she's been living as a human
But that's
for
what I'm saying.
yeah,
That's what I'm
30
saying.
some years. So
He
I think it's
asked her, "Hey, what are you talking about?" And she reverted back to that, you know what? Since you want to choose not to remember, figure it out.
well, and in that
Who is that
case,
helping?
yes, it's that's what I say, it's abandonment for the elder, even though for the wolf, even though she's thinking it's actually abandonment on Anna's part. Now, at the point, if it ever gets to it, that she understands that Anna really didn't get it or really didn't understand, and they get to actually have that conversation, or they get to the point where she understands that she truly just learning who the hell she is, maybe she'll come back around. I don't know. But yeah, at first, initially, and like I said, because Cam, I missed that part of that first interaction. I thought it was just the way Anna was responding to her. So I clearly missed that. So that was my
No,
mistake. But yeah,
that's
in that
okay because
sense,
I
yeah,
remember it just because it made me so mad when I was reading it last night.
yeah. And I think that's what it is, because she's abandoned Anna, thinking that Anna has abandoned her. And she did it on the premise of Anna's choices, because she's believing Anna is choosing to not
And
remember her.
that's why I posed that question, like
And thank you for
abandonment on whose
redirecting,
part?
because had you not mentioned what I missed, I probably would still continue to think that. But and then, like I said, I was on the fence because I was missing some cues, and that's clearly what I missed. So thank you for that.
Hey, ladies.
Glenna.
Like, yeah, it sounds like a combination of all three. Like Mom said, she is abandoning Anna because she herself feels abandoned. And that is in part because of Anna's repeated unwise decisions made out of her arrogance. Period, point, and the blank. But
Did Glenna have something she needed to share other than her agreement of the wolf being an A snapper?
just gonna hang on one quick beat.
Just a second.
I will also say, in addition to Anna's arrogance, I'm just not a fan of her indecisive nature. Like, do you like Bane or do you not? Because like you hate him enough to have all this smoke for him, but you like him enough to let him fuck you in the courtyard. I don't understand. Like, pick a struggle. Damn. Sorry. I thought you were talking to us. But
Well,
yeah.
what I thought was, I noticed that he did mention they were only 2 years apart in age.
Mm-hmm.
And she's 29, so that means he's probably 31. And this is the era of experiments with your body. And I found it really unique that she took on what I believe to be a man's typical thought process when it comes around satisfying a need.
Mm-hmm.
Because she made a comment in one of them chapters about, I think about him all the time. I can't let him know that. I got to keep my distance. And she was telling him, we got to keep our distance. We can't do this, da, 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 even though she wanted it. And then she said, well, maybe if I just get what I need and keep it moving, in so many words. And I was like, damn, that sounds like a man, because she's like, I got too many other things I got to be focused on. So I can't be dealing with a relationship. But in the same vein,
and again, unwise decision making.
exactly. But and I just thought it was really ironic how she went about her thought processes, because hormonally you thinking like a woman, you just ain't letting him know that, but you acting like a man, like so detached, can't get involved. If we do this, it's just for the moment. Don't want that kind of connection with you because I gotta be your it was really unique to actually see that written out in words, because that's something that typically a man will the way a man would typically respond. And I thought that was
Unfortunately, much like men, it was unwise as many of their decisions are.
it is, and that's like we said, unwise decisions. Glenna's back.
Welcome back, Linda.
Hello. Okay, so I think based on the tone, I don't think that the wolf is truly punishing Anna because of actions that she has taken herself. Because the way she talks to her, she's punishing her for her past lives' actions.
Good point.
So her behavior in the way that she's talking about, if you're not going to listen to me, like you always don't listen to me, that's not, they've only been together for a couple of months. She hasn't not always listened to her because her wolf's not been talking to her. So she can't have been ignoring something that's not in place. So she's made a decision. She's snapped because she needed to release tension. And instead of her wolf trying to help calm her down, she abandons her because of her past lives' mistakes, not because of her mistakes. Do I think Anna herself is arrogant in the way she's handling certain things? I don't think arrogance is the right word. I think she's reacting from
Reactional.
a place of trauma.
Yeah.
But the problem is we don't know anything about her young life, so we don't know what that trauma is. And I think we don't know enough about her past lives. We don't know enough about her own personal trauma, because there's a reason why she's under an assumed name at a school being a librarian and nowhere near where she grew up.
You know
We just
what?
don't know it.
That crossed my mind as well, because he kept asking, "What is your name?" Because he could never find anything on her, and she diverted from that question. So
Every
you're
time
right.
he asked it.
Yeah, every time he asked that question, and she diverted from it. So you're right. And now that you say that, Glenna, that's a very valid point. Because hey, let's be honest, she could be mad at her for what she did in her past. So, and with that, I yield. Thank you, ladies, for that great insight.
You know what? I'm sorry. I just had this realization. Even more unwise of a decision. You don't even know who this woman is, and you out here going raw dogging in the middle of the courtyard. Just unwise. You don't know what this.
Listen, because I was gonna say he just out here slaying it. Okay. In the courtyard, in the gym, in the room, outside in the forest. We just hanging and slaying.
I mean, really, just
I'm so glad my kids was gone when I finished, because I was back in my office clutching pearls, and I ain't even have none on.
I mean, I don't know if this magical world got STD testing or Planned Parenthood, but my God,
Listen, okay,
living it out. Goodness. All right, back to the question.
Well, clearly they both had some oats to sow.
But see, I have a whole theory about this though. We'll get to that later.
Hang on to it. I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, we'll get to it later.
Cam's theory. All right, Glenna, what will your question be, ma'am?
What are my choices?
We have desire versus agency and power and accountability left.
Power and accountability.
Power and accountability. Anna's presence seems to awaken Baldor's fragments, leading to mass casualties. How should responsibility be weighed when power reacts instinctively rather than intentionally?
I think that there's two ways to answer that question. If we were honestly dealing with somebody who had complete agency, who knew who they were, who were being given lessons on what they needed to know, how to defeat this guy, what her powers were, then walking into that place and having that reaction and those people dying, she'd be 100% culpable. But she's not getting any of that. She's getting no knowledge. She's getting no access to the information she needs. She's basically being, "You're our savior. We need to do this. Are we going to teach you?" No. Hold on a second. Hello. Hi. Give me just a second. I'm going to hit pause for just a second. Okay, guys?
So that said, ladies, any input on that while Glenna attends to the people in the place? at the people's place.
All I gotta say is you can tell she's about to get real deep. Cause let's call it what it is. Cammy called it out at the very beginning. How you gonna tell me you need my help, but you ain't gonna give me the tools to help? You want me to plant a garden, but you ain't gonna give me the
But
seeds.
you ain't gonna give me no hoe.
You ain't gonna give me no hoe. I don't get no seeds. I just got dirt. What you want me to do? You want me to till the dirt with my hands? You ain't gonna get no goddamn garden. So yeah. Oh, I just cussed. See, this why. This what happened when Cammy come back. God dang. Yeah. Yeah. Why? You want me to do all this, be all this, and let's put it out here. Let's talk about these professors. Oh, she back. I'ma hold it.
Okay, we're gonna come back to your comment on the professors, mother. I'm gonna make note of that too.
Well, my thing is that even Larkin makes a comment towards her, but they're not letting her into the restriction section. They're not giving her the resources she needs. They're holding back all of this information. And don't tell me they didn't know what she was the moment they thought she was a shifter. I have a feeling Larkin and Sarah knew exactly what was going on. And they basically have been strangling her from information that she desperately needs. And it's like they get mad at her when she goes to find the information any way she can. It's like, okay, you're mad at me for going to this place and doing this, but you won't give me the information. So what else am I supposed to do? So in that, I don't think she's culpable at all. There is no feasible way that she could possibly have known that her going there would have had that reaction. If she'd been trained and taught that these reactions could occur and how it would, maybe she would have been more cautious. And with that, I yield.
Well, child, this book right here it's gotten so messy so quickly. I just any additional comments, questions on Glenna's response, ladies? No? Okay. Oh, Cam has a
talking
hand.
about the professors at the end. Go ahead with your question.
I just would like to say that this is why she is the in-law
with the insights. Yes, she is. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my sister-in-law Glenna Hagen for the one time. Hallelujah. But really, I don't think there's ever been a question that you answer where we haven't been like, huh. And we're also pretty deep thinkers anyway, but we just be like,
this is what happens when you basically bury yourself in fan fiction for years.
And see, I have not. I tend to look at these questions as if I'm still in school. And I'm really trying to stop that. But here we go. So the last and final question, ladies, is desire versus agency. All right. Anna's relationship with Bane oscillates between attraction, control, and resistance. Does their power dynamic empower Anna, distract her, or actively undermine her growth, and why? Such a mess, child. Such a mess. Okay. So a couple things. It's like I said, it's messy. Right now, at this point in the book, their dynamic mostly undermines Anna's growth. And I'm gonna tell you why. So even though it feels very intense and validating and sometimes empowering for her in the moment, I feel like okay, so the ways, let me back up. So the ways in which it's empowering, or the way it feels empowering, Bane does see her as powerful before she really does, before she even knows what she is, right? So he's training her. He's really like tough on her. He challenges her. He don't really be treating her like some little fragile, soft girl life type chick. Their chemistry also makes her feel desired at times when she's been very vocal about the insecurities about her body, and not so vocal about it, but her place at the academy is also an insecurity as well. And so I think just him being forward in his attraction to her makes her feel empowered in that sense. Also, she ain't scared to push back against him. And so when she does that, those moments of resistance do show some sort of agency, that she ain't like completely passive. So yeah, I feel like those three things make it feel empowering for her, but it's all surface level. So like how it actually undermines her in real life. Number one, this man keeping her emotionally off balance. He doing that hot cold behavior. He withholding his attention, and then the intensity of their intimacy be pulling her into something. She be going through these cycles and reacting instead of actively choosing. And all that instability just mirrors in her magic. She's ungrounded, she's reactive, she's volatile, she's just a mess. And then number two, he be blurring the lines with them power dynamics. Bloodlines. Glenna has said last week, like he's not just her instructor, he's the one that's setting this emotional tone, right? So even though like they real close in age, there is still a power dynamic here. He's more experienced, he's physically stronger, and I mean, she be saying she want him, but that imbalance means that her choice happens inside this confusion and this magical influence, like them being down at the at the forest when she doing that ritual, and it's just a mess. All right, so then another way I feel like he or this whole thing undermines her growth, whether he means to or not, he redirects her focus on trying to unlock her powers and trying to like defeat the big bad enemy. He redirects that focus away from herself. Every time Anna get close to a breakthrough about her magic or her history or her identity, Bane becomes the emotional event that takes center stage. So instead of being like, oh, who am I? What's my power? She starts spiraling into, well, what does he feel? Why is he ignoring me? What are we? Why does he pull away? What? And that's not growth. That's just displaced foolishness. And with that, he reinforces all of her insecurities and all of her self-doubt. So when they was having sex and he just demanded her say that she needs him, moments like that really just be hitting directly at her deepest wound, right? So like the fear that she's too much or she's not enough or she's incapable of doing stuff alone. It's the antithesis to the independence she says she's trying to build. But where her real growth starts, I think, is when she removes that bracelet and she decides to trust her intuition, and then she decides to try to access her magic without him. Initially, I thought that whole decision being made was just her being stubborn again, but at the same time, I'm just like, no, that's not a coincidence. Her development as a magical being or as an aurora, I think, is paramount to her creating some type of distance emotionally, Not that she can't be around this man, but she needs to detach from this. Oh my God, does he like me? Like all of that. Like, stay focused, girl. Stay focused. Stay woke. Um, yeah, I think, I think it feels empowering for her, but it really undermines her in the long run. Um, yeah, yeah, that's all I got. With that, I yield. Who hand
You got
raised?
2 hands. Glenda and Cammy raised a hand.
Okay, I don't know why I can't see it, but okay. Well, whoever raised their hand first, go for it. Anybody remember? No.
I
Okay.
don't know if Glenda's ever went off from her last hand.
It didn't. That was
Oh,
me forgetting.
okay. No worries. Well, Cam, go for it.
I don't know if anybody saw my comment, but she's such a
That was
pick me.
hilarious.
It's giving Meredith Grey.
God, yes. And I've only seen a few episodes of that series, but yes, that's
Pick me, Derek. Pick me. Oh my God. She's such a pick me. And it's exhausting. I mean, the steamy scenes are good and steamy, but like, God, you trying to save the world. Can you do that without him slaying it in your pants?
yeah. You know,
Every other page.
as a reformed pick Misha, I will say
You?
reading Anna, it's got a little soft spot in my heart because I feel like her whole thing is about learning that wanting somebody ain't the same as choosing them in a way that protects your future self. Because Bane is like her big test of her agency. Yeah, they got some romance in there somewhere, but he's just this representation of desire without stability, connection without emotional safety, power
I think there's
without
a
accountability.
reason.
She really be getting in his ass about him being a CEO and just being so cutthroat and, just unaccountable to the kids he's supposed to be teaching. Like, that really gets under her skin. And while their relationship might eventually evolve into something a little more equal, I don't know, at this stage of the story, he's not a partner to her. He's a catalyst
Oh
to
my God.
her growth.
Let us get to the theories because I think I know
Yeah.
why.
I don't know. Right now, he ain't helping her become who she meant to be.
No, but I think I know why. But she's still a pick me.
Is there a theory?
Yes.
Another theory you want to share?
I mean, it's the same one, but like with extra details now.
Okay. Well, yeah. All that said, Bane is the fire that she got to learn not to walk into just because it's warm. That's where I'm at with that.
No,
With that, I
but-
yield.
Okay.
Come on with the theory.
Okay. So I think, and I don't remember the exact term that they used when they were studying in the junkyard, which cute place to study. Love that. I don't remember the exact name, but I'm pretty sure they are mates in whatever capacity name that is. And I say that because when Raven asked what are the defining traits of a mate or whatever it was called, it may have been mates, it might have been called something else, like fated mates, whatever. She said that was a trick question because nobody actually knows, but these are the signs. And then right when they said that, I thought back to when she first met him. She started, because one of the signs was they have an irresistible smell, that there's like a magnetic attraction and all this other stuff. When they first met, she talked about how good he smelled, and every interaction that they have had, the way he smells has come up. the way she can't stop looking at certain features on him has come up. And now that when she did the ritual or whatever, he became extremely irresistible to her, and nothing except being in the water and feeling his hands on her was able to calm her down. And they've done all of these other little things. Every time they sleep together, there's this irresistible nature, and his hands on her makes her feel, it like eliminates this heat, but it feels like this tingling sensation, or all of these super intense feelings that she's only getting from him. Now, why wouldn't she know for sure? Up until 3 months ago, she didn't know she was any sort of supernatural creature. He probably knows it, is using it to his advantage, because he's had his entire life to be a supernatural. And he's been able to have and experience and feel all of these different feelings. But it's something about Anna that Bane just can't stay away. And he probably knows, hey, this is probably my person, but I'm not gonna say anything because she already got a lot of other stuff on her plate. But I am, however, going to use whatever this bond is to her advantage and to mine. And I'll just, I'm just gonna sit in and let her figure it out later. So no, he's not gonna be a partner, because he might not at this juncture want her to know that that's what's going on. Mom.
Okay. One or two things. Do we know, because whether or not he has had a past life or his animal has had a past life?
Mm-mm.
That's a damn good
A
question.
good question,
Because
but I don't
my
think we
question is, she may not remember, but he immediately was attracted. The same thing applied for him. The author didn't talk about it in detail for him, but he was drawn to immediate connection with her when he saw her and her conversation. But then he's already acknowledged that they got that attraction, for one another. And he was the one that put that enhancement herb in the whatever the tonic was. He put it, yeah. So he was the one that come to save her up out the water when she went in. So in my mind, they have had a past life together, which is why he's able to cause those emotions and feelings and tinglings and the smell, and why all of those things are connected. Because I'm in agreement with you, Aunt Cam, in that in the story we feel like I had feelings like I don't need him to be her person because of how she's responding to him and what she needs to do. But based on how they're acting, I felt like, and she's had multiple past that they probably were partners in the past. He's remembering that and he's capitalizing on that. But considering he's an alpha without a pack, even alphas have a first mate or a partner generally. She got it. She got one. Yeah.
So sorry. I just found the thing that says the thing about the things.
Say the thing about the thing.
And you continue. Finish your thought, because I don't want you to lose it. You called it. I don't want you to lose it. But I found the thing about the thing. So
basically, that was my first impression, because we talked about imprinting and all that stuff before when it comes to wolves, and because he's a fox and she's a wolf. But I think, who knows what happened in the past life? That's the only thing that threw me off, was that they were not the same animal. Because had they been the same animal, I'd have said off top, yep, they was a couple somewhere back in the day. That would have been my first thing. The only thing that doesn't draw me to that conclusion was the fact that they had two different animals. But then again, when you read back in the very beginning of the book, it tells you shifters can change into any animal. It doesn't say that they have a dominant animal, but it said they can change into any animal in the very beginning of the book. Because I was thinking, oh, isn't that convenient? Raven is called Raven because that's what she always changed into. But is it because she doesn't have the capacity to change into anything else, or is that just her chosen magical creature? You know what I'm saying? So there's so many questions that are not being answered here. You don't know which way to frame your thinking. And for me, that was one of the things, because as we learned, she had past lives. Remember, he says he's 29, but guess what? She's 29 and he's 31, but she's had past lives. So who's to say he did not as well? Because we know he's from the house of Lilith, whatever the heck that means. He's running a corporation at 31, whatever that means, and he's supposed to be so old powerful. How did you get all of that at 31? Was it a lineage of that? So I'm saying there are so many questions of history behind his character that have not been tapped into, that made me question as to whether or not they actually had a past together. Now, I'll be the first to admit he's extremely distracted for her. Extremely. She can't focus for the hormones sometimes. But by the same token, she will have to completely dissociate herself in order for her to be successful in this journey of having to deal with this vampire. Because let's be real, you can't be ready to screw every other minute. You still ain't got all your training in. And yes, I can't say that word. Kimmy told me I can't say the
As a
D-I-C-K
vampire,
word.
he don't sleep, so I think it's very plausible for him to be ready every other minute.
No, I'm talking about Bane.
That's what I'm talking about too.
That
Oh
he could
wait,
be.
Alaric is the vampire.
Alaric is
No,
a
they've
vampire.
said he was a vampire before.
Who?
The book had. Let me go look.
Bane wasn't a vampire, was? So that means he divergent too, because he a shifter.
To my knowledge, Bane is a shifter, but not
Yeah.
having
He
vampire.
is. But that's
Yeah,
what I'm
he's a
saying.
shifter.
But
Yeah,
Alexa
so,
is a vampire.
yeah, so that's my concern, is that in order for her to fight this, he who shall not be named, she's gonna need all her strength, all her energy, and all of her abilities brought on by these different bloodlines to be able to fight that. And she is so distracted by her hormones and emotions over Bane that until she separates herself, she won't be able to get that done.
Point blank and the period.
Yeah, because she's not going to be successful, and it's just like leading the lamb to the slaughter, because you are so distracted. You're looking at everything else, the butterflies in the field and the frogs jumping over there. You so busy focused on everything else that you can't seem to get all of your magical talents connected in a way that they'll be useful for you when this epic battle is about to occur. Because let's call it what it is. We already know you done woke the man up. His 4 parts is out there floating and they alert. They trying to get together, I'm sure. But you can't be effective in that if you still focused on the ding-a-ling. I can say that word. I can't say the other 4 letters. You told me I couldn't.
Must have a ding-a-ling of gold.
Girl, we so far past that. We all adults here. Anyway.
Okay. But now, when it comes down, can I go to the professors?
No, I'm not done.
She's not done. Well, go ahead, Cameron. Finish what you got to say.
I found the quote that was backing up what I said.
Say it. Let's say.
In chapter 15, page 103, Raven asks,
let's get our Bibles.
Well, I don't know if the hardback and the paperback page count is the same, but for me, it's page 103, chapter 15, second page.
103.
Chapter 15?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, we do not have the same.
But it's still chapter 15. It's the page that's right after the black page. So it's this page over here.
Okay.
That's 123 for us.
Okay.
So what it say? Where we at?
Where Raven asked, "What are the 5 characteristics of a mate bond?"
Okay, it's in the middle of the page, Angel. She recites from the workbook. Trick question.
I say with confidence, there are no universal characteristics apart from just knowing. It doesn't even necessarily go both ways, though there is the fact of another person's scent being irresistible. Now, if she can't ever see that man, she can smell that man in any and all capacity. It done got so bad she know his gait because he walked down the hallway. She talking about some. I know that walk, girl.
Mm,
He don't
well,
even be saying nothing, and she take a good whiff and is like, "I feel his eyes on me, ma'am,
yeah, because he was
ma'am."
across the room one time. She didn't even know he was there until she smelled him
It's funny because it's true.
across the room.
Like, what are we doing? Like, ma'am.
That's why I said I really feel like they had a past life together, because like I said, we don't know enough about Shifter's heritage or Faye's heritage. We know the characteristic of them, but we don't know if they have elongated external lives and all that other stuff. So,
And that's true. It's just, I feel like with that being the only currently named defining characteristic,
mhm.
as much as she didn't sniff the air for this man, because don't nobody be sniffing that hard. Much as she didn't sniff the air for this man. And the fact that we know it doesn't necessarily go both ways. She could be feeling it and he don't.
True.
Or he could already know and just don't want to say nothing. It really could be either or.
Yeah.
But I truly feel that they are mates, and the fact that he's not being a partner to her could very well be because he just doesn't know, and he feels an attraction to her, don't know what it is, don't know why, and it is what it is. But she also has so much going on right now. I don't necessarily think she's gonna sit back and think about her studies and that this is a major defining characteristic for what this looks like.
Well,
I don't think that's gonna cross her mind.
Well, part of my concern for him would be that if they are mates, and the reason he is a pack leader without a mate is because his mate is an Aurora, and she can't be held bound to one pack. So I don't know. That could be it. But Glenna had her hand up.
It looks like Glenna dropped off.
She got in the car.
Okay, here she is. She's back.
But that's what I think, because I think her being an Aurora has something to do with the fact that he can't have a mate if that is actually.
Glenna has something to say. Come on with it, Glenna.
Okay, so I think he knows, and here's why. I think he is exceedingly self-absorbed being, and I don't think he would be putting in as much effort to help her in any capacity if she wasn't his mate.
Yeah, because he is doing a lot. He's doing a lot. He's the only one, as Cammie said, doing stuff.
Yeah. And I don't think, given his personality type that we've kind of seen on the page, he doesn't strike me as someone who would go above and beyond for someone he barely knows or is not paying him to do that.
Oh, he definitely has a vested interest. He's been very clear just in how he runs his businesses. He about what benefits him.
Yes. And so I think that in this circumstance, I think it's easy to say that, or not easy to say. I think it's fairly obvious that he would only do this for her, the capacity that he's doing it, if she meant something to him. and he's been doing it from the moment he met her. So I think he knows. I think he knows that she's his mate, and I also think he knows that she's skittish and doesn't understand what's going on. And so while he's having fun in the sack, I think he's also holding back emotionally to not totally throw her off a loop. But I can't necessarily say he's being that conscious about his efforts, to be honest.
Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. As always, coming with the insights, Glenda, the in-law. Ladies, any other pending questions? Theory? Mom, did you ever share your professor theory? Come on with your theory.
Okay. Let's go here with me, if we will. Now, we talked about last time that I believe it was you that said you hope what that Larkin would be an adversary. I think because Glenna said
Hoping that he's not
the adversary. Okay.
Mhm.
I think he is. I think Glenna brought that up because here's my thing. We all know that Sarah can see, right? And so Sarah knew about her, whether she shared it with Larkin or not. I think Larkin is just, he one of them, I don't like you no kind of way, so I'm just gonna be mean, the bigoted kind of person. But to find out, oh, you, that one that we in this meeting about, we in this group about, because see, from my understanding, it feels like that society was put together for the protection of making sure he who shall not be named come back, right? They the watchers. They supposed to be watching, make sure stuff don't kick off. They know about the prophecy and all of that goodness. And so up until this point, didn't nobody believe it was finna come to pass, even though the prophecy said this. So everybody is on high alert already. Truth be told, Sarah, I believe, already knew, because let's call it what it is. When they broke up into up into the restriction section, she knew. And then, she didn't tell old boy because he questioning everybody. Everybody got to come to chambers and be interrogated and all of that. I need to know where all y'all at. Even Raven and Alaric, they had to go be questioned in front of everybody. And when he got to Anna, he was like, she said, you know where I was. You sent people to my room to question me. In my room. But then for Sarah to come back, and then so she said, well, here's this book, she shows him the book that Alaric found with the symbol in it and dot, 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 dot. And he was like, give me that. He didn't want to get, and she's like, well, do I get access to the restriction section? No. She's like, why not? Yeah, clearly I wasn't there. So what, was something taken? And he she played that off real good with him. I promise you, Stella, that girl get the Academy Award for that one right there.
Baby, she was smooth.
Baby, smooth as a baby's bottom. She played that to the hill. She's like, you knew where I was. You sent people to my room to question me. But then to come back the next day, after he had confiscated the book she asked about, because she saw the symbol in this book they found in the junkyard. You gonna snatch the book. Then you tell her, no, you can't get access. And you definitely ain't getting it now because it's on high security. To come back and have Sarah pull her to the side and say, hey, I see you was looking at, you was trying to decipher this little symbol. Number one, she told her what it was because she knew what she was trying to do. And number two, I trust that we won't ever see that other thing again. She was like, she thought about it. Oh, hell yeah, you can see. You know I was in there. You knew Magic. So you know who. She said, I trust. I ain't got to worry about this. Nah, you ain't got to worry about it. So she knows. She knew, which made me even further know. You knew what was coming down. But plus, let's talk about it. Why is Sarah getting deteriorating more and more every day? Did y'all catch that?
These are the questions that need answers.
Because, yeah, something's going on. And just like her original mentor that left the position open that she tried to apply for, something is going on. Now, that was the vampire that left. Now you got a Faye that's sickly. Come on now. Something is going on. And I'm like, and this is the one person that knows what's going on with the vampire and everybody else. Because you can see, yeah, something's going on. But she knew, and I think the only reason she didn't rat her out is because she knew she needed answers. And Lorcam is making sure she don't get it. And she got to put up a united front because of her position. And like she came off against her in the very beginning, but I think, like I said, she knew. I think Lorcam, on the other hand, I don't know, something in the back of my mind said he fighting for the other side. He just like that one that was in Harry Potter. You know, they trying to.
Yeah, something is definitely unclean in the milk. But we got one more week. And I hope that we find out all we want to know about Anna's childhood, her upbringing, what the heck is going to happen with this battle coming forth with Baldur, what the heck Lorcan's motivations are, why Sarah's sick all the time. I hope we get all of these answers.
And the history on Bane as to why that connection is the way it is, and
yes,
all of that.
That too. But until then, it's week 3, so you know what that means.
It's time to pick a new book.
Well, Cam, you ready?
Yeah.
Come on with it.
All right. I got no glasses on, so give me a second. I'm gonna share, I guess, my screen.
Every 3rd week of the month, we spin the wheel to figure out what book we are going to be reading next month. We each have 3 choices that are going to be randomly chosen, and Cam will take it away with our magical wheel of, what are we calling it? The reading wheel.
Yes.
Okay.
Can everybody see it?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so everybody has their choices up. We have from me, Stalking Jack the Ripper, Zodiac Academy, Proud of the Sun Queen. From Angel, Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois, Bermuda, and the Deep. From Mom, Bones at the Crossroads, What a Sister Should Do, and Blood Marked. And from Glenna, A Daily Education, Legends and Lattes, and For Whom the Bell Toll. So February's book will be yes. Bones at the Crossroads by Ladarian Williams.
You know what? I've been really excited for this one because I've been seeing a lot from this author on the Book of the Face. He's really been hardcore promoting it. We did do Blood at the Root, and we love that book. So I'm so glad we get to revisit Malik and D-Lo and Savine and all them.
Mama Aya, I just bought, literally last week, just bought my hardback copy. I had to special order it from the Barnes and the Noble. Okay, it came in. I just picked it up on Thursday last week.
Girl, I cannot click order.
I'm so excited.
Okay, guys. So next week we will be wrapping up the last and final chapter. I know that ain't Mom, you got the book already?
She
Girl,
been had it, girl. She bought it right after we finished the first one.
Lord help
She
today.
just been waiting.
Okay, so now we got to step our game up, clearly.
Who is we? Hold on.
Well, you know what? No. Because my sister-in-law got me a Kindle. So I'm just going ahead and order that thing to be on Kindle. I ain't got to wait for it in the mail no more. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And thank
Baby, because we had the special order.
See.
Special order.
All right, so next week, final chapters of A Dusk with Stars, and then we will be starting next month with Bones at the Crossroads. And until then, I'll see y'all ladies next week. Bye.
Bye.